Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be analyzing the Calamity mod Iceberg posted onto the Calamity mod subreddit by user Ginyuh, who is the developer of the mod Calamity Vanities. Before we start, I also want to thank 140x3, or as I'll be saying 140 times 3, for explaining almost all of these entries. The link to the Reddit post will be in the description. Before we start, I just want to make a disclaimer. This Iceberg video will be shorter and faster than other Iceberg videos because Terraria Calamity mod is, well, a mod, and it has less content than games and TV shows they make icebergs about. Bumbleburb. Bumbleburb was the old name of the boss now known as Dragonfolly. The name change also came with a sprite change. 11 Astromdeus. You might not know this one if you haven't been playing the game for over a year, but basically Astromdeus was one of the bosses overhauled in the Rust and Dust update. Before the overhaul, you would start fighting one Astromdeus, but as the fight progressed, 10 more shorter Astromdeuses would join in on the fight. The easy way to win this old Astromdeus boss fight was to build a roller coaster or an asphalt path that loops around. Asphalt is basically a material or a block that makes you go faster, if you didn't know. Xerok. Xerok currently only exists within the lore, but basically, Xerok is the god of the Terraria Calamity mod world. Multiple references to Xerok can be found in-game, such as the item named Rock that is given to the player after defeating all the bosses in the boss rush. Its description states, the first object Xerok ever created. Xerok is also going to be the final boss of Terraria Calamity mod. Vanities. This entry in the Iceberg is talking about the fan-made mod Calamity Vanities that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. This mod adds numerous cosmetic items to Terraria Calamity mod. Noxus and Guzma. Noxus, or Noxus, old name Guzma, is a boss which supposedly will be the second to last super boss, the last one being Xerok. The reason the same entity has two different entries is because Guzma was originally a slime god-like creature, but it has since been retconned to Noxus, who is, as far as I know, a living bomb made to combat Xerok. Noxus is, as you might have guessed, also an enemy to Yerem. This is a fan-made sprite from the Total Calamity wiki. Calamity God. Calamity God is a joke image which is just boss sprites mashed together. It looks like this. I'll give you a few seconds to stare at this ultimate beauty. Fogbound. This entry refers to a post on r/Calamity mod about a fan-made boss named Fogbound. Here's what the boss is supposed to look like. The post and the art were made by Ginyuh. Or Ginyuh. I don't know how to say it. I'm just going to pronounce it Ginyuh. Polter Resprite Hell. This is going to be very short because it's just an assumption. I assume this post is referring to Poltergast, a boss, never getting a resprite. The Lord. The Lord was a joke boss about Yerem. The boss would switch to a random AI of any enemy or any boss every second. The Lord stayed in the game for a really short time. No You. No You was the spawning item for the Lord. It was just a box with the words No You on it. r/Calamity mod. Well, this is pretty self-explanatory. r/Calamity mod is the official subreddit of Terraria Calamity mod. Nalin. Nalin is the name of Siren from the boss fight Siren and Leviathan before the sprite changed. The name of the current sprite is Anahita. Future bosses. Future bosses were supposed to be a group of 3 bosses that were rematches of older bosses, like the dream bosses in Hollow Knight, and it was probably inspired by Hollow Knight. The bosses were supposed to be Devourer of Universes, Ancient Doomsayer, and Dragon God Yaren. Basically different versions of Devourer of Gods, Lunatic Cultist, and Yaren. Xerok Armor. Xerok Armor was the old name for Empyrean Armor, which is the lunar tier armor for the class Rogue. Astrogeldon. Astrogeldon Slime is a scrap boss. It was an astral biome and slime themed boss that was in the place of Astrum Aureus. I don't know much about this boss since I wasn't playing the game back then. EUC, CXD, and UCB. I don't know about this one, so I'll just say what Reddit user mattengarding has said. EUC CXT UCB stands for Empathetic Untamed Calamity or Calamity Expanded Dimensions. Not sure about UCB. All different names for the same planned fan expansion for Calamity that is now discontinued. Stygian Weaver. Stygian Weaver was an enemy suggestion made on Discord, and that's all I know about it. Horror. Horror was a debuff which has been removed. Horror was a Revengeance mode exclusive debuff that would lower the player's defense, movement speed, and acceleration. The perfect one. This is a reference to the Legendaries Plus. This is referring to a mod called, Legendaries Plus, which is an add-on for Calamity mod that adds legendary items and ammo. Odd Shroom Origin. I don't know about this one. The closest thing I found that could be related to this entry is the consumable Odd Mushroom, which warps reality like, the drug. But the only thing I know about drugs is watching Breaking Bad. Crimsaber. Crimsaber was a sword in Calamity mod that would rain Ichor in the same way Starfury rains down stars. The sword was, however, nuked into oblivion. I like the way how Reddit user mattengarding says it. Incredibly generic sword that got removed for being incredibly generic. Andromeda. Andromeda is a cancelled superboss. It was supposed to be a battleship built by Draydon. As far as I can tell, Ginyuh is currently doing code practice on Andromeda. Infernum. I don't know about this one, but 140 times 3 says that, if I remember correctly, Infernum is a difficulty mode that is being developed for an add-on of the mod. Apotheosis and Friends. Apotheosis and Friends is a Calamity mod add-on that adds items that are like the spell Goddamn, why can't I say this word? Apotheosis. r/astral images. This is a pretty funny Terraria Calamity mod subreddit that contains blurred Calamity images. Blurred is basically an image that is both cursed and blessed. I would suggest you check it out, but the subreddit is practically dead. Ungodly Serpent. Ungodly Serpent was an enemy that could spawn in the Hollow and the Underworld. It was a large worm type enemy. The Ungodly Serpent has since been removed from the game. Dog Purple Destroyer. Dog Purple Destroyer refers to a really old Devourer of Gods sprite that was just a purple destroyer. This sprite of Devourer of Gods, I'll be calling Devourer of Gods Dog from now on, was implemented in the first version of Calamity mod in June 1st, 2016. Stress. Stress was the Adrenaline and Rage effects before Adrenaline and Rage. Stress would give you different benefits and disadvantages, like less armor but more damage depending on the level of stress. It has since been replaced by Adrenaline and Rage in Revengeance mode. Prov Resprite Hell. I don't know about this one. I would say it might be about Providence the Profane Goddess never getting a resprite, but I don't know how long she didn't get resprited for, so I can't really say anything. Particle Accelerator. The Particle Accelerator was a crafting station in Terraria Calamity mod. It looked like this, and was eventually replaced by Draydon's Forge. Its sprite went on to be used as the first sprite for the item LOL. UHF. UHF, full name Ultra High Frequency Murasama, was a planned weapon, but it didn't get implemented into the game. Hashtag off topic and hashtag spriting and art. I'm putting both of these Iceberg entries together because they are both related to the Calamity mod Discord server. They both refer to channels that don't exist anymore. I don't know why they don't exist anymore, but I can assume that spriting and art was probably removed due to too many sprite and art submissions. But that's, like I said, just an assumption. 1.03 and 1.1. This entry is referring to Calamity mod's second and third versions. Firstly, I'll talk about 1.03. 1.03 added the mod description and homepage, Falcon boots, and finally made 2 vanilla items craftable. 1.1 was the update that added Calamitas. Along with Calamitas, it added many things that I don't have the time to talk about, so I'll leave the full wiki entry in the description. But some of the things added were the debuffed Brimstone Flame, multiple boss rebalances and improvements, new ores, and a resprite for Dog. Calamity Souls. Calamity Souls was apparently an add-on for Calamity, and it added Fargo mod-like items, but I don't know about it. Mega Mammoth Dragon. Mega Mammoth Dragon was a dragon super boss in which you would have to fight an ancient dragon of Yaren's race. The reason it was called Mammoth was according to the website that details scrapped Calamity mod content, that I will leave in the description, was because it froze itself to avoid being extinct, then was unfrozen. Mallah. Mallah was meant to be a mini-boss or a boss, it isn't exactly clear, that would have 3 phases and beg for mercy when defeated. It was obviously scrapped. All of the other entries. As you may have noticed, I didn't include the Iceberg entries, Skeet, Nurse Meteor, Calamari High, June 2017 Prune, Calamity WP, and Bar Wars because I have no idea what they mean or what they are. Void and Hive Biome. This entry is really interesting. These two were a set of biomes that were going to be implemented in the game before getting cut. The Void and Hive biome would spawn after defeating Andromeda, so making it an endgame biome. #Wormhell, another Calamity Discord related one. Wormhell was apparently a really long deleted Discord channel. I asked Ginyuh and he or she said, old meme channel in the Calamity Discord that died. What was it about, you ask? Well, something about worms, but I really don't know. Geminga, an item in Calamity Vanities, references it, but that's all I know. 1.1.7.801. This was, well, another update. It added the Big Flesh, also known as Ravager, and some popular weapons like Yarim's Crystal. The Terrarium. Yeah, I couldn't find anything about this entry, but I'm still talking about it because I found that there is a biome in Ancients Awakened, a Terraria mod, that shares the same name as this entry, but that's it. Plague Empress. Plague Empress would have been a beetle-themed plague boss that would probably come after Plaguebringer Goliath. It was scrapped due to lack of interest. Dunkin' Donuts. This is what... I'm sorry, it's just really like absurd and funny. This is what the Profane Guardians have a chance to be called when they are summoned near the end of a boss fight. I personally don't see it, but do you guys? True Slime God. This might be a reference to Guzma. Guzma, the old form and name of Noxus, just like I said, was a boss fight where you would supposedly fight 5 slime gods, so this entry might be referring to Guzma. And I'm going to leave the first part right here because I want my videos to remain kind of short. I will cover the remaining entries as best as I can in the second part that should come out 1 to 2 weeks after this video. Before I end the video, I want to give special thanks to Ginyuh 140x3 and mattengarding. Thanks for watching, I'll see you all next time.